Here we are, good morning, up and running. Ohayo gozaimasu. Am I competing with a baseball game today? I don't know, I don't follow it that closely. There's news today. The Tobu Railway Company called a press conference early today. President, what's his name, Suzuki Taro, made the announcement that sometime during the night, their iconic sky tree has been stolen. It's disappeared from the landscape of Tokyo. I think the police are on the case, and the airports, they're checking everybody's outgoing baggage to make sure nobody has stolen it and taken it away. And people are on the site looking for, like in Paris, they're all over the site looking for DNA. So, the biggest heist ever. Over on the west side of Tokyo, police there are looking for Mount Fuji. It's also disappeared. Good morning, good morning. I can't say another rainy day. We've had a couple of rainy days, but we cannot complain. My God, there's been so little rain this year overall. We can't complain. Tourists who came in late October expecting the usual typical late October blue sunny skies, they're a bit disappointed, but simply it's all postponed. Late summer going into autumn is rainy and changeable weather, and that's sort of what we're in. This is late summer. What's happening here? We've got that thing happening from overhead. It's the screen. Hey, let me get a tissue. One sec. This is still late summer, even though it's now the end of October. There has been no autumn. What do I do? If I wipe this way, it doesn't change. If I wipe vertically, is that what happens? Somebody, I think it was Karen, was putting that in the last stream, but I didn't notice it at the time she posted it. Now we've got horizontal stripes. See if I do circular. Seems okay. I can't clean the lens. It's the screen of the laptop, which is a little bit kind of maybe the laptop screen kind of needs a little bit of attention. I think somebody was talking about this at the end of the last stream. You could see my laptop. My keyboard, that's what I care about. I care about the keyboard. If it gets dirty, you can't use the machine. So I keep a cover on my keyboard, but I don't think it makes sense to put a cover on the screen. Okay, there we go. Good. Okay, what's happening today? It's going to be desk work. There's no printing today, no carving today. There's a set of blocks coming back from Chiharu-san, the DF10 print. She's doing the first 200 copies. The blocks will come back here maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we have to decide here who's going to do the next. And I think Ishikawa-san has got her hand up. Ayumi-san's busy, so it's maybe, not decided yet, maybe Ishikawa-san's going to do 100 or so, I'll do 100 or so. So it could be that from a week from now or so, I will be upstairs on the printing bench. Or if Ayumi-san, or maybe Yuki-san will handle it. We'll see, I'm really not sure. But for now, it's still desk work. I've got tons and tons of desk work to do. This morning, we're going to sign and emboss. Maybe you've never seen this before. The ukiyo-e heroes, embossing and signing. Have we seen that before? I don't know. That's my first job this morning. I also have a ton of share certificates that have to be processed this weekend. Maybe we can do some of that on stream. Got to be careful with people's names. And we've got to talk about the sketching, the drawing for upstairs. I'm at a bit of an impasse here. First, the New York Times, October the 26th, Sunday. Any special stories, news? What's happening next Sunday? There's no laundry today. Laundry was hung up Saturday morning. No, Thursday. I don't do laundry 2 days in a row. Has delivery ever lost any blocks? Delivery? What, you mean like the Takibin service, sending stuff back and forth? I don't think so. We've had, in the many years we've been dealing with them, we've had a couple of cases where the person didn't get it, And we called the tacky bean guys, and they're saying it looks like it's delivered, and it turns out that it was on a wrong truck somewhere. So there's been little glitches, but everything has arrived. There was one case where in their warehouse there was an accident in one of their warehouses, and one of our packages arrived with tire tracks on it, and some of the prints inside were damaged. Not a whole lot. It wasn't a package with hundreds of prints. And they made it proper for us. But among the thousands of packages we've delivered, it gets there quickly, it gets there cheaply, and it gets there reliably. Can't complain about that service at all. Where are we? Okay. So, sketching stuff, we'll save that for a little bit. Let's do some work first. I've got some rough sketches to show you, and there was advice from people about what kind of software to use for drawing and stuff. Somebody recommended SketchUp. I can't get it. You can't buy it anymore, and there's no free version anymore. You have to pay for it, which we're willing to do, but it's only available by yearly subscription. I'm not going to buy a subscription for a year at X hundreds of dollars per month just to do one job. So I'm a little bit stuck. I'm back to pencil and paper. Oh, prints from Ayumi-san. This is the last group, I think, the DF09. These are coming through. You saw the package from Ishikawa-san, I think, a week or so ago. This is Ayumi-san's group. And this is now all up and done, I think, once we check these and see. That's number 9 out of the way. Number 10, as I told you, the first 200 copies are being printed as we speak. You got more on the recommendations for software for sketching and drawing and planning architectural spaces. CSP. I don't know CSP. If you can put a link or a full name or something, we'll have a look later. I could use an iPhone's LiDAR to create a mesh of the current floor and put it in. I don't want a high-tech solution. It's going to take me 99 years to figure out. Pencil, I'm just going to have to use a pencil. I got this yesterday from the people at the back room. It was a package of prints that came in. We didn't see it on show and tell because it didn't get to me. There's lots of prints coming in that don't get to me. This is a package of prints from the Yuyudo company. And inside this series, there's 30 prints. They're slightly reduced versions of famous ukiyo-e prints. And it's a very, very, very common, usually very nicely made set of prints from Yuyudo. I think it was initially published in the 1960s, and they probably gave up in the 1980s or so. They published thousands of copies of it. We get it at auctions and at the dealer auctions especially. It's stacked up. They sold so many copies back in the day. The backroom packing team had a set of 30 of them, and they pulled 2 of them out. They said, Dave, these are not suitable for the shop, so they're going to throw them away. I said, wait. Before you throw them away, look at this. There's something we can learn from this. I can't learn from it, but people who are doing research on foxing, we've talked about this before. What is foxing? I don't know. Nobody seems to know. There's lots of theories, lots of ideas. Some people are convinced they know, but there's lots of people who have the opposite idea. We have here a print. Let's look at it. It's got foxing, clearly the thing that we call shimi in Japanese, which in Western terms generally we call foxing. It doesn't seem to be mold. It's not organic stuff that is growing and eating stuff and growing. It's some kind of, it could be organic, but it could be chemical, it could be mineral, we don't know. But it's not, it's different from mold. Mold is like a penicillin. It sits there and it grows and it eats and it grows in circles. This is different. But look at this. The area where there's no pigment, her face, is most strongly foxed. There is foxing around the rest of it, but mostly it's where her face is and her hand, the area where there's no pigment. And it gets interesting. The print is in a paper mat, and it's glued down along the corner. You've seen me do this. You've seen me take them out of these mats. But look at this. Along the edge of the paper also, get your detective hats out, the edge of the paper where there's no pigment is foxed. The area where there is pigment is not so much foxed. On the back, the area where no pigment and no rubbing of the Baron happened. This could be key. The Baron rubbed strongly here. The Baron didn't rub strongly on the edge of the paper. The Baron has a tiny little bit of oil on the back of it. The face, because it's blank paper, didn't get rubbed strongly with the Baron. But the hair, which did get rubbed, and the fan, which did get rubbed, are also heavily foxed. So the first theory that something in the oil in the Baron is protecting the paper, areas that had no oil contact are foxed. But it doesn't hold up because the fan also was heavily rubbed. There's more to it. The back sheet seems to be relatively free of this. The masking sheet seems to be free of it. But the place where the masking sheet covered the print is heavily foxed. The place where the masking sheet didn't cover it you tell me. Nothing seems to add up. If that, then this, but there's another counter sample. If that, then this, but there's another counter example. I don't know. I don't know. Someone says maybe the oil is causing it. In that case, why on the outside of the paper where the Baron didn't touch is it so strong? It's also here in sort of waves. On the outside of the paper here, look, not much here, lots here, not much here, lots here. Which makes me wonder about the brush when they were doing sizing. You've seen me doing sizing with a one pass. Boom, shock, boom, done. Not all sizers do it that way. Some do a dip, rub, 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 dip, rub, 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 dip, rub, rub, rub. And I could easily imagine that scenario. Look at this. Light foxing, heavy foxing, light foxing, heavy foxing across the paper. The guy's doing sizing, dip, 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 boom, rub, 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 dip, 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 boom, rub, 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 rub. Maybe a heavier sizing in some places has caused heavier foxing, or it could be the other way around. A lighter sizing has caused this. Because it's very possible the sizing wasn't smooth in one pass. You can go back even farther to the paper maker. Is it something that's in the paper from the time the paper was made? I don't think so, because it's heavy on the face and there's non-existent on the back. The paper maker didn't know what print you were going to make from it later on. Where did the printer handle it with his hands? Well, he certainly didn't handle all the way around the edge, and handle the face part. He would never have touched that. As printers, on any given piece of paper, for the most part, we will handle it. If we've got a piece of paper making for the print, we're going to handle it for the most part at the edges when we're doing this. We would never, ever, in any case, touch the middle of the thing with our fingers. We pick it up by the corner, move it around, we hold it by the edges, we hold it like this. We'd never touch it in the middle. I really wouldn't blame the printer. A sneeze I could blame. And now you've got enzymes from your mouth all over that paper, which I could see turning into brown spots X years down the road. But again, the face has got it, the surrounding area doesn't have it. And this happens to so many prints, it's not going to be the printer sneezing on all of them. This set as well. The print is a set of 30. This is number 1, and this is number 2 in the set. The other 3 to 30 weren't foxed. So these were the 2 that were on top of the stack, wrapped up and on a shelf. And these were maybe the 2 that were exposed to the outside, or the 2 pressed against the wall where there was less airflow. They're at the end of the stack, not in the middle of the stack. There's a million data points and thoughts about this. And here at Mokuhankan, we see all these data points and we know these data points. We've got a bunch of these prints. These are going to go upstairs into my shimi foxing study stack. We're going to keep them just like this, not take them out of the packaging. And at some point, there will be so much data in that stack that hopefully with that big data, some kind of answers might start to fall into place. Sorry, a bit of a sidetrack, nothing to do with today's work. Could it be combined with the areas that received the most light? Yes, these two prints, the collector, this was a subscription series. These two prints arrived first. Now this particular set didn't ever come with an easy open frame, but somebody could have bought a frame by themselves. Okay, they open the first one, put it in the frame, second one comes, they open it, put it in the frame. By the time the third one comes, they're bored with this, they don't open those and put them in the frame. So these two stayed in the frame for a longer time. But it still doesn't make any sense. The face is open to the light, this part is covered by the mat, and it's most heavily foxed. So if light triggered some kind of reaction, why is it triggering it here, but not in the area under the mat? Have any of my prints from back in the day showed any foxing? Yes, there's a set of my prints right now on Yahoo auction from the 100 poets. Somebody is selling 80 of them. Must be somebody who got the set partway through, and they're selling 80 of them. And they put a little note in the auction. One or two of these prints do have foxing dots. Nothing to the extent that we just saw on the print just here. Let me see if I can find the auction link for you. 1 second. It's still on Yahoo auction right now. Unless he's taken it down. Oh, here it is. David Bull, click, copy link address. 750,000 yen. There's the link to the auction. I'm not recommending you buy this because it's kind of an expensive price. And I think he shows a picture there. Where is it? Just a sec. I thought there was a picture with one of them had a foxing dot. Yeah, there it is. The picture of the woman sitting down. There's a foxing dot just above her kimono. Maybe this is the first dot of what will be tens of thousands of them. I don't know. Are all my prints going to have foxing later on? Are none of them going to have foxing? I don't know, because we still don't know what the hell causes this. I would feel kind of bad if all the thousands of prints I made during the years, by the time I'm gone, 50 years from now, are they all going to look like this? I can't promise you not. I don't know. We just don't know. Gary has got some print from one of my Surimono albums that appears to have a spot of mold. That sort of would look different. That generally looks to be a circular shape as something grows, like penicillin in a bowl, stuff like that. Someone's asking, is it in the paper? But again, it could be something that's in the paper, but it needs a trigger, which happens. The trigger happened here, but the trigger didn't happen here. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, enough of this. We could talk about this all day. We could get a stream because I've got so many samples upstairs with different kinds of foxing problems. There was a gentleman here, I know, from the Rijksmuseum in the Netherlands a while back. He took some prints actually from me here, and I showed him a bunch of the stuff in my foxing drawer. And he was like interested, but not interested enough to want to get involved because it's not his specialty. Anyway, if anybody out there does have a connection with a museum and or conservation society and or people who professionally know about this and they want more data points, we have a file of prints. And the cool thing about this, let me just for 1 sec before I let go of this topic, the prints we've got here with foxing. If you're a museum curator, the British Museum, and you've got a great wave that's foxed, what do? You can't really muck around too much. You can take pictures of it, but you can't like chop it up and cook it and see what's happening inside there. We've got so many of these prints, 20th century reproductions that show this foxing. The prints themselves, once they get to this stage, are worthless. So the cool point is, some of these prints could be used for destructive testing. If you've got some, you take some scissors, chop a piece of this out, put it in a little bath, see if the stuff grows, put some heat in it. We can destructively test a bunch of these because the prints themselves are not classically expensive, wonderful old prints. And that would be an interesting point. Someone who's studying foxing in the museums can't use destructive testing. They can't even touch the stuff. We can do this here. So if you're in this field and you need some data or need some material for testing, give me a call. I'll never get to it. I can't. I'm interested in it to the extent that I would like to know how it works so that we could avoid it in our own productions. But I'm not interested enough to spend years doing research in a lab. I'm sorry. It's just not my bag. But we have data. We have data. There's also the thing, a guy, the back of the truck guy. Remember we had the story about the guy who is selling prints off the back of the truck? He was in the other day. He comes once a month now. That's his pattern. It seems to be set. He needs to pay his rent or something, so he comes and hits me up for money. He's bringing wonderful prints, and the price is okay, but he knows he's got a fish on his line, and he keeps reeling me in. We're happy because we can get access to older prints. The other day he was here and showed me a bunch of stuff, and one he was showing me was something quite heavily foxed. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but that means the whole batch is probably blah, blah. He says, no, it's easy to cure this. You just put it in a bath with some bleach and blah, blah, blah. So I tell him, please don't do that. Just show me the prints with the foxing. Don't try and bleach them first before you bring them here. I don't want that kind of print. Please, please, please. He's saying, really? I can clean it before I bring them to you. And I'm like, do not do this. Just bring me the prints as you have found them in the storeroom. He won't tell me where he's found them. But I said, please, just bring them as they are. Don't clean them. Don't do anything. Just bring me the dirty prints. If I don't want them, then that's up to you. You go ahead somewhere else and you do what you want. I can't help that. But don't try and clean them before bringing them to me. He says, are you sure? I can clean them up, And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Do you know the story about our Ukiyo-e Heroes prints and the T edition? Do we know that? Have we talked about this before? Let me get a sample to show you. Time to clean up around here, but whatever. We talked about the T editions. I don't mean T editions, I mean the American president. Have we talked about that? Headline news, back of the truck man solved mysterious foxing problem that has bedeviled experts for centuries. We haven't talked about the T editions, really. Okay. Well, we're going to do it right now because I've got to sign a bunch of prints. The Ukiyo-e Heroes prints, designed by Jed Henry in America, made in Japan by the Mokuhankan. It's like Apple, designed in Cupertino, California, made over in slave workshops in China, whatever. Up till earlier this year, all of our Ukiyo-e Heroes prints, the ones we carve and print here, of course. We do the manufacture. I've carved most of them. Chon-san carved this one, and Kawai-san printed this one. We then, after making these things, we get 100 prints in a batch, whatever. We were throwing them in a package, EMS post office package, over to Jed, and Jed did what you see here. Each print was inspected and verified by Jed to make sure it was okay, passed his test, and he signed each print in pencil, Jed Henry. Put the date on, 2025, and he numbered them with a single number going up. Now, we've never done limited editions, and these numbers that you see on the Ukiyo-e Heroes prints were done at Jed's behest, because he also sells them in galleries here and there, and galleries don't want prints without edition numbers. But I told him, if you do this limited, we're cooked, we're dead. We're not going to do prints because I need to amortize my block cost. If you make only 100 copies of this, I need payment for all 100 copies this way. So we don't do it that way. We carve the blocks, and I keep getting paid month by month as we make prints over the years. So the point being, the Ukiyo-e Heroes prints have numbers which are just a counter. This is number 223, so that's the 223rd print of this design that has gone out into the market. So that's what we were doing up until this spring when the US king decided to change the world. We can no longer make 100 prints, send them over to the US to get signed, and then send them back to Japan. In this new world of tariffs and strange shipping, we can't do that. So Jed and I consulted with each other what to do. And we came up, not we, I came up with the idea of the T edition. Let me go and get one. Why didn't I pick up one at the same time I picked up that first one? We still want a signature on these because all of our Ukiyo-e Heroes prints do get signed. So here's what we do. Here's an example of our T editions. And we've got a sheet at the back that has this, our Tariff editions. Each print is signed here by me. It's not my design, but I'm the publisher. And we've got a sheet here that's explaining what's going on. So instead of sending the batch of finished prints over to the US of A, Dave here signs them. I do the same thing as Jed. I put the date on, 2025, and we put a number, and we've got a new numbering system. It's now T. We started again at 0, and we preface them with a T. So this is number T294. It's the 294th print that has gone out in the T version. T meaning tariff. But we also, these are Jed's prints, these are Jed's designs. So we want him in here. So we've got an embossing plate. And we emboss Jed's signature. We had him, I said, sign here, Jed. He signed a piece of paper for me. And we had an embossing plate made with Jed's signature. So all the prints get embossed, Jed Henry, put the date on, and signed D. Bull. So I think this worked out to be a good compromise. Jed was on board with it. I'm on board with it. We put a note on the back of every one explaining what's going on. We put him in the shop, and we were thinking, what will happen? People are going to think, geez, no, I wanted Jed's signature. You know where this story's going. More people want the ones with my signature than with Jed's signature. I don't know. So enough talk. Let's emboss some prints. So today, we've run out of this print in the shop. We've run out of a few of the prints in the shop. So I went up to our stock room upstairs, grabbed a bunch of the Ukiyo-e Heroes prints, and my first job this morning here is going to be to put the Jed Henry embossing in, and I will then number and sign them. If you can stand watching this. Let's see. Let's do this. 8:28, finally getting to work. Can you see it? I don't know if it's going to show. I don't think it'll show. The prints are already embossed on the margin. The prints are already embossed with the maker's names. That was done by the printer. We should be able to see this. Come on, get some light here. We can see this to show. There it is, there it is, there it is. This is not a Horiboro print. This is Hori-chon, Chon-san, and Suri Kawai Chiharu. Those are already embossed in there. And now we have, there it is, you can see it. Now we have the Jed Henry signature embossed here also. We're proud of these prints. You know, people are talking about these prints in the chat. we hit it so far out of the park with these that I can't believe it. This is classic Jed Henry from 10 or 15 years ago. His current designs, I think, are not so interesting. But the stuff Jed did when he was younger and when he was hungrier and when he was more creative, he knocked it out of the park, and we picked it up and ran. These are classic, stunningly interesting and beautifully made woodblock prints. These will be famous 100 years from now. These will be. There's nothing like these anywhere else. He killed it and we killed it. There's 17 of them altogether. We made 17 of these Ukiyo Heroes prints. I wanted to get to 20, but the wheels came off the truck before we got that far. Jed is still sponsoring woodblock prints. We really don't work with him much anymore. His new designs really don't ring my bell, so we're not so much interested in that. But he is working. Jed's making lots of woodblock prints. And I think I saw a note in my email the other day, Jed's website is actually open at the moment with woodblock prints, and they're made for him by a different team. He's working with William Francis in England and Cal Carlisle in the US. And most of them, they're done. They're laser cut blocks and printed by William. So there are tons of new woodblock prints on Jed's website, but they're not Mokuhankan prints. Cal is in Kyoto right now. Is he? I know. I got an email from him some weeks back saying he's going to be in Tokyo, or he's going to be in Japan this fall. Can he drop by? And I said, yes, of course. So is he here? Is he coming over then? I asked him, let me know, because I'm not here every day, so let me know before you drop in. I presume he will do that. Yeah, well, we've been in touch by email. I imagine what he'll do then, he'll let me know, saying I'm in Tokyo next week. What day's a good day? But they're making a ton of prints. I think Jed's website now, he used to have just like 3 or 4 woodblock prints that weren't made by Mokuhankan. But I think there's dozens now. Cal and William Francis, they're really busy. Bonsai Maverick, yes, you got your subscription plan. Please drop a note to the team, the shipping team. Info at woodblock tonight. Info at mokuhankan.com, or just reply to one of the emails that we have sent you. Please let them know. They're really trying to keep track of this. The idea of sending subscription prints to the US by airmail has been really iffy. So if you've received something properly, please let the team know. Let Ayano-san know. The back of the truck guy, the first deal with us, he wanted cash. He wouldn't tell us his bank account and he didn't even want to tell us his name. And we did it the first time, but when it became apparent that this was going to become a thing, I had to be strict with him. We have a legal liability here. The police and the tax department demand that I be able to show the source of all the goods we sell. We are a registered antique dealer here. Kosho, we have a kobutsu, I forget what it's called. We have a license, Kobutsu Nantoka Nantoka Sho. We are a licensed dealer in antiques, old stuff. And as such, we have to legally keep documentation on where we buy things. And I think you have to keep it for like 7 years, not that long, 4 years or something, I don't know. And we've been tested on this already. When I had part of the tax trouble last month, when we were not investigated, but when they wanted more data, one of the things the tax lady did was she grabbed a bunch of sales that we had made at random, or actually not random, she grabbed high profile, high expensive items that we had sold and said, where'd you get this? And I had on my computer, because we keep data on this, I was able to show it, click, 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 there it is, it came from that thing. So desu ne. Hi, try me another one. She tried 2 or 3, and I was able to show where I had bought them with documentation. So I told this guy, I'm sorry, if we're going to be doing this on a regular basis, no. It's a what's it called? KYC business. It's a know your customer business. I need to know who you are, and I can't keep paying cash. I said, that's not negotiable. If you want to keep bringing us prints, that's the way it has to be. So he gave me his meishi with his name and his address, which I legally need, and no cash. We now all make payment. We make all payments to him through the banking system. Now, whether his ID is a fake ID or not, I don't know, but I have got my own bum covered. We need at least that much information. I said, it's off the back of a truck. This is not stolen merchandise. He's a junk dealer who travels around finding stuff in old houses and warehouses, and people sell him stuff and whatever. There's nothing illicit about this at all. And the phraseology I used, buying off the back of a truck, maybe was not the right word to use to talk about this. He's just a junk dealer. He buys stuff in a certain part of the country and then peddles it wherever he can. And he drives up with a truck, takes a box off the back of the truck and brings it in here, which is why I used that analogy of off the back of the truck. But neither he, as far as I can tell, nor I are doing anything illicit here. It's just simply old junk goods. He has lots more, it seems. Lots more. So we've just told him, you keep bringing it in and I'll keep writing checks. He doesn't want the frames. We tried that. His truck is too small. With no exaggeration. He's got a little K truck. And the frames that are upstairs right now, he wouldn't even be able to take them all away. Nothing. Okay, now, I got to be careful with what I'm doing now. The next part, we have a strict set of numbers. Numbers. That Pokemon was 254. Just let me double check this. Before I start writing numbers here. 1 sec. The last number that we used. I made a note of it last night, but it's a question of check twice, cut once. That is 254 for that Pokemon. I choose you 54. We went up to 273. So we're now going to start this group at 274, which is what I've got. Okay. I'm on this. Time to become a pop-up frame shop. Yeah. Well, someone says, frame a fox print, set it outside with free on it. At the moment, the camera, well, let me show you. I can show you easier than tell you. The camera is outside at the moment. Am I live? Okay, if I take the camera, if I turn it to the right, this is now showing inside our entranceway. Can you read the sign, or is it too dark? This is an outside area where people walk by. The frames are out there 24/7. We don't close the shutter actually while we're doing this. We have a bunch of the frames outside with a sign that says, help yourself. And we've even got some bags, plastic bags there, so people can take a bag and carry it with them. And bit by bit, we keep adding to the pile and people keep taking frames. So smaller ones, ones that are carryable. Ones that are carryable disappear. We put them outside. Anything like that's carryable. It goes out to the front of the shop. Sometimes it builds up. Right now, what is there, 7 or 8 frames there? I think yesterday there was about 10. 3 have disappeared overnight. A few more will disappear today. We will add some more today because more stuff is coming in today. But the big ones, that's not practical. So upstairs they go. We've got dozens and dozens and dozens of them upstairs now. Not many tourists take them because of the obvious thing. You're traveling in Japan, even if you have a suitcase. A lot of people are backpacking. You can't carry a frame like that and take it home, which is why we don't want them. Our clients are all overseas travelers. Change the sign. Take it. I dare you. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I get it, you know. This is the paradox. Over there, people want these things. I know. This is the paradox. We buy the print in a gorgeous, some of the frames upstairs are worth it. They're multi-$1,000 frames, with no exaggeration. A bunch of the frames upstairs would easily have been 6 figures in Japanese, 150,000 yen. Some of those frames are incredible. They are heavy solid wood, they are ornate, they are multi matted. Some of them are incredible. Because people buying an expensive woodblock reproduction print back in the 1980s, the print itself was maybe 500,000 yen. They would have thought of nothing of paying 200,000 yen for the frame. So some of those frames upstairs are astonishing. So we take the print out of the frame, sell the print. We bought it so cheaply, we can make a good profit and have the print at a reasonable price, and the frame becomes garbage. The people buy the print, take it over to America or England or Germany or whatever, and they again spend hundreds of dollars on having a frame made. It's a huge, huge waste. And that's why we are trying to get these things back into circulation rather than just throwing them away. We're trying to do the right thing here. Put a dollar bill in and I'll take it away. Frame of saying, yeah, money, it's okay. Yeah. We'll see one today. There's going to be show and tell today, and it's exactly the same thing. It's a print here. I'll give you the link. This is the link to our show and tell print today. We don't want to make it a surprise. It doesn't matter. I think those of you in Europe, Yahoo's going to block this. I think that's the correct link. It's a fish. I got a good one. It's a beautiful woodblock print. The designer's name is Takeuchi Seiho, a Nihonga painter. He was long dead before this print was made. He was a super famous Nihonga painter, I think, in the early part of the 20th century. And after he was dead, I guess his estate started like selling his IP to people who would want to make prints with it. So somewhere in the 1980s, I guess, I'm not quite sure, this print that we're going to look at today in show and tell. Somewhere in the 1980s. This is big. The Yahoo auction link, it's not a little one. This is a big print, and it's in a gigantic frame. If you're in Europe, you can't see that. You'll have to, whatever. I don't have any, just wait till show and tell. Anyway, Dave. Okay, now I got to be careful because if I screw up these numbers, I'm in big trouble. So we have here rickshaw cart. The first one is number 274. T for Tariff, 274. It's going out this year. We're going to date it 2025, and I'm going to sign it. Whoopee! And Jed's signature is also there. And this is T275. Isn't this fun? So, John's got it. This is the one that started it all. This print changed my life. If this hadn't come along, I would not be sitting here talking to you today. And you would be off doing something sensible instead of sitting here watching me. If it hadn't been for this print, 275, 276. Changed a bunch of people's lives. There's 30 people, 30 plus people now working here at Mokuhankan. They would not be working here if Jed hadn't come up with this concept. This was not my idea, this was Jed's idea. T277. It's not just Jed, of course, it had to get made. We had to actually physically make it, and our skill set helped this, but the initial creation was Jed's idea. Please hold up the print so everybody who doesn't know it, nobody on this planet hasn't seen this yet. Created in 2012 by Jed Henry. Ukiyo-e heroes, parodying something, can't quite think of what. I forget what the motto is. I don't know, beloved friends, bitter enemies. I think something like this. I can't remember the pronunciation of the motto. Dear friends, strong enemies, or something like this. This particular one, this is carved by Bull. This has our Horiburu mark on it. It's embossed Horiburu Suri Kawai Atsushi. Changed the world. They're in museums all over the place now. T278 is the next one. And we still make it. The blocks are still in beautiful condition. I can't say beautiful condition. The blocks are still in very, very, very usable condition. We take care of them. We print in low quantities each time. T279. Someone's got the link. Fish. Hank, thank you, very good. Can you take a chocolate egg for that? Good. I was thinking myself, should I copy the image and send it somewhere else? JP from Soul 3. Soul 3 I get. JP, I don't know, but I guess that's your name. Thank you very much. I realize I have been kind of skimpy with eggs recently. My apologies. It's made it look like it's a terrible, difficult prize to reach. T280 is the next one. T280. Thank you, sir. T281. I'm in fear of screwing up the numbering, that one day someone would come back to us. I saw this print with the same number that I've got. What's going on? Jed, I think, he was the one who was numbering all these when we sent him over to him. And I remember one day a conversation, this is years ago, I was saying, Jed, how many, what are we up to by now? He says, I don't know, I lost my file. I made up some numbers, and I'm like, Jed, what are you talking about? You made up some numbers. He says, I don't care. So I don't know. We're trying to do the right thing here, not duplicate numbers, trying to keep it clear. T282. It sort of doesn't matter because none of us are claiming these are limited editions. There's only 100 out there. And if you found the same number twice, that means somebody this is fraud. We're just numbering them as they go. 1, 1, 1, 1. This is not a limited edition. There's no financial anything going on here, you know. You and only 99 other people have this. T283 must be the last one. My note says so. T283. Hi. Okay, here's the next one. Wonderful, wonderful design. I'm so proud to have been part of making these. There's video, you know, if you on our YouTube channel, I can't link to it right now. Back on our YouTube channel from over 10 years ago, for example, this print, the Fox Moon print, there's 4 YouTube videos there. The carving the key block, the doing color separations, carving the color blocks, doing all the printing. There's massive video showing every step of the way of these prints. Back on our YouTube channel, scroll back, 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 back. Yeah, these haven't been trimmed yet. I will be trimming those. After I finish this morning, I will be trimming the top, and some of them will need to trim on the left edge. So yes, I will be trimming them before the staff packs them today. Some of them go out with a natural edge. This one, I think it has passed a few minutes ago. Some of them, the paper we used was really barely, so instead of trimming that, which will be a bit too thin, we will leave the natural edge. So this print will go out like this, cut on the bottom, cut on the top. We will trim the top a bit here to make it normal, and it will go out with a natural edge on the left. That's random, not all of them go that way. This one, of course, will be clean cut on the left. This one is also Horiburu Suri Kawai Chiharu, embossed by Jed Henry. Okay, this one now, let's get this correct. Same signature. Same date, it is still 2025. This is going into the world. And we now have T284. Yeah, John's explaining this. Back then, this is 10, 12 years ago, Jed was drawing with a brush. These are all beautifully drawn with a brush. The line work it's Yoshitoshi alive. You know, Jed was really doing this. He grabbed a brush. I used to buy brushes for him. He would say, Dave, I need a medium nantuka nantuka. We would get from Tokyo's most expensive brush store. What's it called? Kyukyudo. I forget. This is a super famous brush store downtown. And Jed would tell me, I want this, 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 this. We went down there, bought the brushes, and sent him over. And Jed did brush work. None of his new stuff now uses this at all. It's just computer, it's not computer generated, but he's doing it all on a computer screen. There's no taste to the lines whatsoever. We live and die by the line. So whatever. I said earlier, the wheels came off the bus. This is really the main reason, you know. Jed put down his pencil and brush, and he picked up a mouse, and that's where Dave gets off the bus, you know. There's no fight. We're not hostile. We're paying him royalties on every one of these prints that go. He's making a good living from this still. T286. But under his current... Wait, what am I doing? No, the last one was 284. I just did 286. Dave, be careful. T285. Live on camera, Dave can't count. So 284, 285, 286. Atrecento is using brushes. I gave them when they were here last year, 2 years ago, I can't remember now. We went together to a Bumbogia, to a stationery store, and I grabbed this and this and this and this and this and paid for it and dumped them on those guys. Here, you are going to get some wet ink. This year's series is all brushed by Olivier. They do sketching and drawing on iPads and all sort of stuff and layout practice. But when it comes time to produce the key drawing for this year's print series, the DF series, it's brush on paper. They then scan it in, send it to me, and we get busy with it. I'm not anti-technology, and there's some cool stuff can be done on these art tools. But for carving, putting the blade into the wood, we want a brushed line. T287. Without that, there's no point to what we do. Yeah, the ramen cats, we did those. Sushi Hanami Ramen. They're carved here at Mokuhankan, and they're done with a brush, of course, yes. Last one was 287. This is going to be T288. Someone earlier in the chat here, when I was talking about number duplication or something, somebody mentioned headache for future archivists. Well, let's do that. Previous one was T288, and I made the 8s like this. I did the 8 like that. I'm going to make the next 8s with 2 circles. Let's do this. How does David draw 8s? This is going to be T289. T2, 8 with 2 circles, and then a 9. And the previous 8, T288, has the figure 8. Hee 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 hee. We get the same thing numbering the share certificates. I don't know if we're going to have enough time today, but I'm going to get to it. I don't get to it. But I'm numbering the share certificates. I love that. Some of the 8s are looped and some of the 8s are double circles. And I can just feel 100 years from now someone say, no, that's not real. That's not how Dave did his 8s. No, look at this. Look at this. Live with it. The 2s, I don't know, I guess I got my way of doing 2s, I don't know. So my contradictory, if I do a 2 with a loop and the 8 with circles, I'm being self-contradictory, maybe? I don't know. I honestly don't care. I'm going to get the number right. I can barely write my name. That was 289. Next one is T290. I'm sorry, if you're an archivist in a museum, if I've done something wrong, I'm sorry, whatever. Part of the reason I'm being so loose with this is that I really just don't like the idea of numbering the things all together. I would just rather not do that. T290, that means this is T291. But I get it. It's a thing that has meaning to people and stuff like that. So at this level, numbering them upwards, I have no ethical problem with this. This is nothing about trying to get more money for the print or whatever, or make something exclusive. T292. Maybe I'm being hypocritical. If I'm really against numbering, why am I doing this? I don't know. T293. That matches my data. Good. Okay. So far, so good. The washi is really abrasive to pencils too. It's funny. I know. I'm going to take a flyer here. I don't know the physics and science behind here. My guess is that because the washi is made from plant fibers, grown in the field, whatever, silicates in the soil, I don't know. It seems that down at the molecular level, the paper is sort of hard and abrasive. And a pencil seems to go round really, really, really quickly when you're writing on washi. As opposed to writing on some just pulp paper, the pencil will last for a long time. Writing on this washi, the pencil seems to lose its point very, very quickly. The paper seems to be quite abrasive to the pencil. I don't know the science behind it, or I'm just imagining something, I don't know. Okay, the Metroid one. We start the numbering at 294. And that makes sense. The last one was T293. There's something else for the archive type people here. I mentioned the previous numbering system. When they were signed by Jed, there were no T's, but the numbering was exclusive for each print. The first one of the Trial of Strength got number 1, and then it went up. So when you see these single numbers, Trial of Strength, it says 223. That's the 223rd print of this design. Then when we did another design, we started with number 1. So the numbering was exclusive to each design. Here with the T's, I'm doing this different. When we started doing these T things a few months ago. Arigatou gozaimasu. Domo. Mushiro-so. Hi, thank you. The mailman, and it was prepaid. No chakobare. So for these things, when I did the first T, it was a rickshaw card print. It got T001, or what did I do? Just T1, then T2. But then we picked up a different design. I did T3, T4, T5. So the T's are there's only one T293. There won't be a 293 for this design and a T293 for this design. For the benefit of those of you who care about this stuff historically, there's one set of T numbers starting at T1, going all the way up to whenever we can get this finished and we can go back to delivering prints to Jed for signing, if the king is ever deposed and the world returns to normal. Ha, 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 ha. There we have it. So for those of you who care about this stuff and who keep track about it, whatever. Charles, yeah. I have quite a lot of respect for Charles, absolutely. Decent man, stuck in the world's worst job. Okay, let's continue. This is Metroid 903. We're going to get a visit, I think, in 3 or 4 minutes, counting down to the arrival of Sadako, I think, it being a weekend. What do I think of Himekuri calendars? I don't know the reference. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Himekuri calendar. Either I've forgotten what this is or it's a reference over my head. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're referring to. Himekuri. Hime would be princess, queen. I don't know. I'm sorry. Okay, last one was 293. My book says use 294 for the start of this. Let's do that. T294. So far, so good. I think I'm keeping this under control. What I did forget was, look at that, I forgot the 2025. Did you catch that? Chat? Did you catch that? Help me out here. I missed the 2025. While we're here, let me go back through the stack then. Come on, I need you guys as a backup to catch my errors. You guys. It's my own fault. I'm talking too much, of course. Not concentrating. They all have 2025. Good. T294 becomes T295. It looks like this is going to be all we're going to get done today. I had another bunch of stuff to do as well. You're on strike until the chocolate egg rations resume. Have I given you too many jobs to do today? T296. I'm still thinking about how to handle the show and tell because we have a big box. Sadako will be here maybe to help me with the camera. T297. T298. Which way should we do the 8? Let's do the double loops. Right? And that's right. My message says that one should end at 298. We're looking good so far. Next one. The print Jed called Young Man Shakes Heaven. This is the one in the shop that many people have trouble identifying what game this is from. If you haven't played it, I guess it's sort of you don't know. This apparently is a scene from the game, the evening before some big battle. Many of you will know what it is. Okay, a lot of people are getting this. Bonus points. What's the name of the character in the middle here who has a green head? People seem to get stuck on that. What's the name of him? Yes, okay, bonus points again. What's the name of the sword? It looks like we have a bunch of pros here. What's the name of the sword? I don't know these things from playing the game. I know these things from, yes, we've got it, we've got it. We have a bunch of pros here today. Of course, this character's name needs no. Okay, I guess we've got it. Beautifully made. We killed it here. We knocked this out of the park and into the next park. Jed did a great job and we just killed it at this end. I'm so proud of this work.
Morning.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Is it still raining or just pretending to rain?
Stopped raining.
It stopped, has it? Okay.
29.
Shh, don't make trouble with the numbers. I'm having enough trouble on my own. I'm checking the numbering is okay because I check each one, the previous one before I write the next one. So I was worried about the year. Last was 2025, so this becomes 2026. Next is 2027. So somebody mentioned himekuri.
Day.
Pardon?
Day. Day mekuru a
Ah,
turn.
soka. Himekuri calendar is a type of calendar.
So every day they peel off.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this expression. I'm sorry.
I was walking, so I couldn't write.
Okay. No problem. I forget the reference now. Why somebody was asking about this?
I have no idea about
It's disappeared in the chat now. I don't know. He mekuru. Okay, it makes sense now that I understand. That's the thing with when you see Japanese without the kanji characters. It could be hime kuri. Let's think about this. Hime is a queen or princess. Kuri is chestnut. Doesn't seem to make much sense. But hi, day, and mekuru, turn. But if you see it in kanji characters, there's no mystery at all. Oh, good morning, Sadako. Everybody's blah, 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 blah. Come say hello.
Hi.
Himekuri is a daily tear-off calendar with different themes. News to me. Thank you. In there's a lot of room. So much show and tell stuff is this building up. I'm sorry.
Oops, sorry.
I haven't left any room for people to stand there. How you doing? Today's purple. Mauve. Royal.
It's cold. You wear the same clothes.
That's not true. That's not true. I have step one of my changeover. I changed over to a long sleeve shirt and a thick long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, a little bit.
I have made my first step to the winter changeover.
I had to change
Your
clothes.
closet. Show,
Yeah.
do you do that? Like take all that stuff out of your closet, put it in boxes, put the other stuff back in the closet?
Not that much, but just folding and hanging, and also my comfort for
Oh,
bed.
the bed cover. Yeah.
So I have midsummer, summer,
yeah.
Spring and autumn, and midwinter.
I'm curious, so people in overseas who live in centrally heated houses, do you go through this thing? Because for the 40 years I've been living in Japan now, I'm not a big fashion guy. I don't have a closet full of clothes. But even at my level, last week I got my clothes hangers. I took off those T-shirts and stuff. I put them in the drawer, and I got out my winter shirts and hung them up. So even Dave makes this, today's the day you make your changeover. Sadako's obviously done the same thing herself at her home
Yes.
with the bedding and her closet.
All year round.
Does this happen to people who live in a heated house? I don't know.
Didn't change anything for the comfort.
Living overseas, you mean?
And all year round.
Oh, okay.
Half sleeve.
Well, okay,
t-shirt.
there's comments here though. Their closet has the clothes in it for all their clothes, and today they get up. If it's cold, they wear something warmer. If it's hot, so there's no changeover. Just what you wear each day is different, but you don't have to make the change because your closet has all your clothes. We got no room for that. You got to pack stuff away.
I do hang just changing the place, location.
Okay, but that's not. You live now in a big house all by yourself.
Yeah.
Back when you were a family and 2 girls and stuff.
Still, I did, and much easier to move and find the proper.
So you made the changeover,
clothes.
yes. So. Yeah. The bedding too. I dug into the back of the closet and I brought out. Dave has 3 for sleeping. It's 3. It's nothing. No, it's 4 actually. I sleep with nothing. I mean, like in the hot summer, it's unbearable. Then next step is a tauruketto. It's kind of it's like a towel. Do these exist overseas? I don't know. In Japan, it's called a tauruketto.
Large.
It's like a towel, but it's big enough to cover your bed. And that's what we would use through when it starts to get a little bit chilly. And that'll be the thing that during the summer or autumn, I'll keep it beside the bed but not use it. But then at 4 o'clock in the morning, there's this kind of, oh, it's a little bit chilly, drag it over yourself. And then I have a light comforter. And then because there's no heating in this building at all, I got a big, thick, oh my God, you could die underneath it. It's just so wonderful. I have 4, so you don't have 4. You have 2? What do you do?
I use 3.
3. As in like towel kit in summer, light comforter, and then a heavy one. Yeah. I don't know if that's typical. I don't know. And there's no blankets. I have no blankets. I can't imagine. Can you imagine? Like a heavy blanket, you pull it over your body and trying to sleep?
In between 2 seasons, I use a blanket on top of my comfort.
Really? Just, to me, it's just so heavy. Last time I had a blanket.
There are many.
Okay. I'm out of date. Whatever. Okay. For me, blankets. It's back when we were kids living in Edmonton. The windows are open during the night because that's my mother and father's idea. The windows were open even during an Edmonton winter, and that's why I still do it myself now. And then what you do is you used to get these heavy Hudson's Bay. They were called Hudson's Bay blankets, and they weighed a ton. And you'd put 1 or 2, and you can't move anymore because it's so heavy. We didn't have down comforters in my era. That was something, I think we had the idea. Scandinavians or something had that. A down comforter was, I think we had the idea. It was foreigners would use those. English tradition, there was no down blankets, down comforters. I'm talking 1950s, 60s. Just heavy blankets. These days, I don't know, no idea. There are weighted blankets, people who love them. Not me. Hopefully not Sadako. Don't.
There are roughly 2 kinds of blanket. One is made of wool, and the other is made of cotton. So it's washable.
But nowadays there must be many modern lightweight stuff,
Synthetic
whatever, so
materials.
space age
But
stuff.
I prefer natural materials.
And the point being, it's now season change. It's not just us two. Pretty much everybody, well, in this part of the country, has made this changeover. You go through your closet, you move this out of the way, you put this in play, and you get your bedding changed as well. So, what's the time? 9:15. Let's pack this away. Show and tell. And can you do the camera job. I
When
know.
camera, I was nervous.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, what we're going to do though, last time there was such trouble with the camera, but what I think I'd like to do, the show and tell today is one of those big boxes. So I think,
Which one?
it's right here. So what I'll do,
Okay.
just hang on a sec while we get this up and running. Let me get the prints off the bench first, just a sec. What I'll do is, I will open the box over there. No, well, let's turn the camera around here. Let's just do this thing. Instead of talking about what to do, let's just do this.
There are two boxes.
I know which one's going on. Okay, let's try this. First, let's turn the camera around. Let's zoom out. I'll get it, no. And I will focus the camera on that part of the floor. Here, could you go behind the camera there then? And if you look at two places, go behind, go in there. And you can see here, this is what they're seeing. So keep your eye on that. Because in other words, don't look in here, because that's not what shows there. And let me grab the box. Once I've opened it, I'll come back to the bench. Now, you need to point the camera farther down. Yeah, keep going, you can see. Push this up, this camera down.
Oh, on the floor.
So, I'm on the floor. So don't worry about what you see inside the camera viewfinder. And it's a fish. Do you know the name Takeuchi Seiho?
You don't know.
Oh, green tape. Haven't seen green tape for years. Are we on camera still? Look at this frame, my God. Ooh, we show now the people who are counting layers, they must have counted cardboard as one, plastic as two, but we have more stuff here. Is this another layer? Let's get rid of it. It's going to open. Okay, let me just do this here. If I turn it over, get the print out. Let's see if we can just save the print right now. Get it out of this package. Oh, bad news, bad news, bad news. Terrible, terrible preservation. The matte board, you can see it. It's all brown and toned. The print, let's see. Oh no, look at this. The print is glued. Ow. Okay, let me bring it over there. Bring it with the mat. Look at that. What a tragedy. Oh! Okay, let's switch places. Can I come in?
Come out.
You come out. You okay? Knock everything over. Oh, this is... Oops, oops, oops. Just a minute. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, there's a tragedy here. Absolute tragedy. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, I should get rid of the bulb too. One sec. Did you see what's happened, what they've done with this? No, I'll get rid of it. Hang on. Yosh, thank you. Okay, it came like this. I've pulled out the mat as well. This is the mat, which we are now going to, of course, toss aside. And look at this. It looks, you see the different, where am I? Different colors here. Like, this is the same sheet of paper. This is the print. That's the part that the mat was covering. Sometimes it's the other way around. The mat covers the part, it stays light, and the part inside where the light affected it went darker. This is the paper of the print. This is where the terrible, terrible, grotesque, whatever they used for this mat has been pressed against this for decades, and it's got brown. This is matte burn. That's destroyed, hugely acidic, burned. And what's worse is the print itself. Look at the edge paper. This is the selvage of the print. I'm going to flip it over carefully onto the desk. The print has been glued. The whole print, sprayed, the whole print has been glued to some kind of origami card backing paper. This print has been destroyed. It was destroyed the day it was framed. Nanda. We might have one way to save some part of this. If it's only glued around the edges to the backing board, and if it's not glued in the center, then what we can do is Dr. Dave here gets his scalpel and knives out, and we simply cull. We chop off, where's the camera here? We chop off the matte burned area, and that's probably the glued area, and then the leftover middle part of the print may come off the backboard. How can we tell? If I flex this, can you see, Sadako, anywhere where it sort of looks like it's not glued down? Oh, look, 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 look. Here, see this? Look. See the bulge? As I bend this, it bulges up. Let me try and get the camera on this. Just one sec. I think we may be in luck. I'm not sure if you can see this on the camera. There, look, 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 look. If I flex it this way, the paper wants to bend up. No, put the light the other way around. Just as you had. There, 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 look. Now the camera can see this. So I think it's not glued down all over the entire surface. I think it's just glued down around the outside.
These are very well done.
Now, the print itself, so, now that we've looked at the damage, there's also over in this corner, there is foxing, which is probably why we got it so cheaply. I think a few other people tried to bid for it. Did I put the auction listing in?
Katsuo?
You tell me. My
Katsuo.
guess is it would be a katsuo. The artist is Takeuchi Seiho. Long dead now, in the first part of the 20th century, hugely respected and famous Nihonga painter. He used to do all kinds of landscapes and stuff, and at the end of his life, he semi-retired from active painting and started doing fish. I don't know why. Somebody's saying it could be a bluefin tuna. I don't know. I'm not a fish expert. Let's zoom in. It's nicely made though. Look at this. We have lots of kasure bori. Can you see that they've carved this print in a way that it imitates the way that a brush runs out of ink as it gets to the end of its stroke. Then on top of this, we've got a gradation put in by the printer. Really nicely done. All through the tail. If you didn't know, you would think this was a brush painting. You couldn't tell it was a woodblock print. We're getting different answers. Bonito, tuna. So apparently this guy spent the last decade or so of his life doing nothing but painting fish. I don't know why. Here's our foxing. Down in this corner, we have some foxing spots. What did this cost us? I forget. Oh no, I put the link into the stream earlier. Have we got it there? ちょっと待ってください. Is that the correct auction? Or is that the auction for the other one? Yeah, this is the auction. 3,100 yen. And it was chakabarai. We had to pay postage when it came, which must have been about 1,000 yen. So it cost us somewhere on the area of 4,000 yen.
Bonito.
Bonito, which is bonito, it means tuna, でしょ?
でもカツオ、トゥナのカツオは
Oh, related. I see. Okay. But what do we do with it now? I think really there's absolutely only one thing I can do, and that's that trim the thing to what you see as the undamaged border. You can see where the different mats were. The little thin white line. That will be the original color of the paper. The outside darkening brown is from the bad matte paper. The inside toning is from exposure to light over the 60 years. And the reason there's a white strip is because on the back side of the mat, look, they've put a little foil strip. The mat they wanted to make, here's the front side of the mat. They had a foil, decoration foil thing. And that foil wrapped around to the back side. And that thin little strip of the inside of the mat where the foil is, you can see it shining there, that didn't do any damage to the paper. And that's the only area of this print left that's undamaged. That thin white strip is what this thing would have looked like all over at the day before they framed it. And then sitting in there for all these years, it's gone brown on one side and it's light faded on the other side. Framing prints.
You peeled.
I didn't do anything. That's whatever it's come. Somebody, so maybe this is the auction guy. Look at this. Sadako's discovered down in this corner. Somebody has tried to peel it up and he started to tear the print. Maybe this is the auction dude or some previous owner. But that should give us a hint. Is it glued all the way under there or? No, it's not. It's glued around the edge. No, it's glued in the middle. Oh, look at this. There's even more evidence here. The person who tried to tear it off, the print, when it was glued down, there was a stamp on the back of the print showing information about it. This guy has tried to tear the print off, and he's actually separating the paper. He's tearing up half of the print itself, and half of the print stays down. And look at this. You can see from the back, look at this. This is the back side of the print, still glued down. And this has got the publisher's information. So, right, you can see printer's name and carver's name.
Mokuhankan, Tariff, something. Someone.
Okay, it's the title of the print is Katsuo. So Katsuo. This is bonito. Bonito でしょ? Katsuobushi. Bonito. Takeuchi Seiho, that's the designer. And then we have Maeda Kentaro. Hi. And the suri is Honda. Maeda Yutaro. Yeah, his father, his son, Maeda Kentaro, I know. Kentaro, sure, Maeda Kentaro. And then suri is it?
Someone Taro. Nantoka Taro. I can't read. If you peel
Well, I can't peel it, but we can soak it. Nanda. Okay, but that's half and half in the inside and outside area. What to do with this thing? I think that now that because I'm worried about the yuck, soak the whole thing. If I take it back to Ome with me, put it in the bathtub. Just put it in the bathtub. The paper is okay for it. These pigments are okay for it. They'll be fine. Just put it in the bathtub. Let it soak.
Is this? They are using opaque pigment.
Yeah, there's some white pigments here. Yeah, so you can see. Sadako's pointing out here these light blue white parts. This is opaque pigment. I think we're water soluble here. It's okay. I'm not so sure about the vermilion. Framing. We see this all the time. I can't complain. I spent 3,000 yen on it if it becomes whatever. the people who killed it were the people who framed it. So I'm, you know, if I try and preserve this and try and save this, at the very least, we will be able to get the center of this print. If I can float it off the back, maybe before we float it, try and soak that corner so that the lettering becomes clear. Is what it is. Okay, not good news today anyway. But it's a nice print. A nice print. Is there there's no publisher's mark to show? I can't see. We haven't peeled off part enough of it. I don't know who published it. It doesn't look like a typical Momose version. It's certainly not the usual suspects, Takamizawa or Tanseisha. No, don't go too far, Sadako. Just crease the front. Just crease the front. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if we learn more about it, we'll tell you more about it. But for now, I think that's all the damage I can do. It's 9:30, time to sign off. We have lots of work to do in the shop. I got to tell you a couple of things. What was that? What did she do? Just said goodbye. Okay, I didn't see. I didn't see what she was doing behind me. Our subscriptions are stumbling along. I know for those of you who are in the US, we're finding that lots of people in the US who are getting the airmail test prints seem to be receiving them safely. So Ayano-san and the gang has decided they're going to resume shipping subscriptions to the US with airmail. Canada is still closed, even though the strike is finished, they're on rotating. Canada is not accepting international packages from Japan yet. We can't do anything about that. We can't send by airmail or some other way. Canada is still closed to us. When they open up, which shouldn't be too long, we will get back to normal on shipping. Anasan's updating all the people who need to be updated on this. Anyway, I think now we're getting out of here. I'll see you again Monday morning. Not quite sure what job. The blocks won't be here for DF10, so I won't be printing yet. It might actually be a sizing stream again. I'm sorry. I sized on Thursday, but I think I've got to do some again on Monday for the paper for DF10, the second batch. So I'll maybe see you on the third floor upstairs. In the meantime, let's have rainy Asakusa. Please bring back the sky tree, whoever stole it. Okay, time for you to get out of here. Thank you very much. I've had fun today. I'll see you Monday morning. Signing off. 3, 2, 1, and bye for now. Over to your baseball game. Thank you.